45 minutes left in the trading session. Welcome back to the close. Let's have a quick look at how things stand. Pretty flat in the overall markets, as you can see. However, there's lots of individual movers, but NASDAQ still leading the way as far as gainers concerned. 0.17 at this point, both of those pretty much flat. Cryptos to the upside today. Nice bounce back day for Bitcoin specifically after the down move we had a couple of days ago. We'll talk about Viacom coming up, a little bit of news on that. We'll talk about a whole bunch of smaller names moving around as well, guys. Let's get into the last 45 minutes of the day.
Yes, sir. We are back with a vengeance. Mentioning Viacom, I see the spike. It is up on the day. We're going to get that news in just a quick second. Level to note, 43.50 is going to be a big one on Viacom. Go back to the daily chart to see it. We left you guys with a couple of stocks that were moving and some that weren't. Clover was one of them. This stunk for me in the morning. It was a half-decent breakout. Then the pullback was a horrible trade. Went back to the thesis, which if you watch the morning show was look for the pullback off of yesterday's close is your stop, and then back into this 7 a.m. ramp up price. And that was like 13.10. It dips to 13.13, so we're able to get it. It actually just made a move into 14.10, but this thing couldn't break 14.50. That's a breakout that didn't work. So it's all kind of worked for a little bit to the top. I want to cover this one before it gets to that 14.50 price. It's getting close on Clover, but not there yet. What a run by Viacom. And there was news on ALF. There's Sean. But the smallest buyback in recent memory didn't affect it too much. It tried to go up, then it came right back.
Yeah, no, I was able to. Hey, guys, welcome back for the fastest 45 minutes on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. And check out some of those YouTube shorts that we've been doing. They're pretty cool. Maybe Valeria can find a link and put... Valeria, why don't you find the link to the short that me and you did, and we'll put it up. Okay, so yeah, ALF right here. Nice trade, guys. We were short early at 12. We liked it, kept going to the downside. Then all of a sudden, bang, that news came. It halts out right there. I didn't really even care what the news was. I just took it right off the halt again. We went short 13. It only goes to 13.50. My out spot was going to be up here at 15. So now, and we took part out there, and now we're half in the money again. 81 cents. In the money on ALF right now. So we'll see if it can retest the lows. Apparently it was like a 2 million share buyback or something like that. So we're not so worried about $2 million, I think.
2 million.
2 million notional, yeah. Take it away, Brendo.
Yeah, I mean, it's very small. But I was just going to tell you about Comcast and Viacom and Roku, guys, because this affects all three of them. So Comcast to the downside. It's ugly for Comcast. This is Viacom as well. After Roku came out and said they're looking at deals with both Viacom and, or actually just Viacom instead of Comcast. So Roku to the upside, Viacom to the upside. This one, not so much, guys.
I'm dipping into VWAP as we speak. Now, look, you catch a falling sword. I'm going to see if I can't get a little something here. It just dipped right down into VWAP. There's a cluster, 41.60 on the first move up. It pulled back into that price. It just popped off it. I love this setup, guys. Sometimes you catch that falling sword on news. It gives you a good retracement level, and you jump in and take it. Now, you guys are going to know VWAP is like the only thing on my chart besides volume. That's one of the reasons. I mean, you're going to catch that pullback almost perfectly. 41.80, quick scalp for 30 cents, and then we can hang on to the bottom of this cluster like a 20-cent-ish stop because I got 83s, and then see if we can come back into this 42.30 area. So very, very quick action here on Viacom as that just dropped like an absolute rock. I also have Wish. Believe it or not, I actually didn't really trade Wish until just now. The only look I wanted was a deep retracement off of the morning that really never ended up coming. They did make that bounce, not anywhere close to the 12.90 to 13 I wanted. So I caught Clover on the bounce to the downside because it got in that range. Wish did not, but it puts in a higher low. So a third higher low after this volume spike. I take that trade in here. We got 13.48 long. Looking to just play it back into VWAP. I'll scalp 10 cents and take the rest out at VWAP. So quick little bounce on that Viacom. 3 longs. I'm looking for something to the short side. Got nothing yet, but I'm sure I'll find something.
We've got ALF, Clover, and AMC over here. And then I just want to give a big cheer and a floss, or let's do the cheer first, and then we'll do a little floss action. This is one of our very first animations ever, the floss, as you can tell. I think that was made in like 1980 something. And here's Ford, man, just straight upside, man. That was a great trade for us early. We talked about buying all these lows off VWAP, Ford. Now we're up all the way to 15.40. Was that a cancel on Brendan? Okay, cancel on Brendan.
I didn't know we did that.
Yeah, I don't know. That was cool. Thanks, Maggie. I've never had a cancel before. Okay, upside there, 59. So we're going to watch AMC, see where we go from here. But we still have that same trade that we've had all day. We should have bought more down here at 57 and change. That was a spot that we were looking at to get longer. But let's see if AMC at the end of the day can finally give us the winner that we're hoping for. Man, this has been a big day for us today. Let's just keep it going. Wow, look at Palantir even, guys. Palantir, we bought 25.70 off the open. If you guys were watching the open, you heard us say this was a no-brainer long. That's my best out, though, 26.25. That was a good one for Palantir. Bang to the upside. What up, Beep?
Just saw a troubling headline that I'll pass along to everyone. I'm going to confirm this, but yeah, that just happened. Just popped up. John McAfee found dead in a prison cell in Spain. If you remember going back to, I think it was yesterday or the day before, they actually confirmed that they had won extradition to send him back to the U.S. So I'm going to look around for more on that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sit there and cheer this win. I just got out of Viacom there, but that's crappy news, man. And
I mean, we don't know the
McAfee's
details,
a character.
man.
Hopefully, yeah, we hope it's not true. We have no idea. He's obviously a character, no longer necessarily involved, of course, directly with McAfee when it got relisted.
No,
he's
not
with them
involved at
anymore.
all.
He's not involved at all. But it's a name brand. Everyone knows it, and he's a pretty famous guy in there in crypto, and we can get into that. But let's stick to the trading here because we don't know the actual story. Viacom, dead cat. Well, it's not a dead cat bounce. But bouncing off VWAP here, told you guys the plan just as we got into it. Take this quick stop out, look for that next little cluster, 42.30. So quick 50-cent win. Love that setup. I mean, you get news like that in a volume spike. Just take a quick look. This is on the 3-minute at what happens on the first initial retracement. Pick up some of those levels there. Once you see it hold, VWAP is a good entry point, especially if it gives a good risk to reward. I did say, and look, Sean and I got to be flat by the end of the day for any of you that are just tuning in for the first time. That means we have to cover all of our positions. Clover included. It got that volume spike. Wish was off the lows. That's why I took that one. But we'd already made a bounce here on Clover. I cannot hold this into 14.50 after the way it responded to that price before. So anywhere close to this 35 will be an out. But because we have it deep here, I'm not gonna sit here and ignore the opportunity to possibly catch a bounce off VWAP, right? So it's not like average. It's not necessarily averaging in so much as it's like a new position kind of idea. If it bounces off 13.8, I think it was a scalpable range here for 25 to 30 cents, just given the cluster is held for the last like 30 or about 30 minutes or so. So I like the 13.80 bounce on Clover. It looks pretty strong to me. So let's stick with it.
Okay, right here, I just want to take this into consideration here. Galantine, with the movement in the stock market, do you think this is a good time to start a new long portfolio? Okay, I didn't see that word new. Yeah, I mean, I think every time if you're going to start a long-term portfolio, there's no better time than the present because you just got to find the right stocks. The market could be at all-time highs, which it is. It doesn't mean that we short. I mean, the market was at all-time highs a couple weeks ago, and now it's higher, right? So as the market keeps on going, your portfolio will keep on growing. So I would say, yeah. I mean, I don't think you go all in right now with some of these stock prices, but why not start picking up good quality companies at every moment of your life? It doesn't matter if you're starting it now, 3 weeks from now, a year from now, a year ago. Buy the best. Oh, thank you, Daniel Flores. He likes the shorts. That's cool. Brendan and Neil are going to be adding to those shorts as well. But I think there's no better time than present to pick up good companies. And I mean, I'll give an example there of Ford. We talked about that. First of all, here's McAfee. I have this up. And again, I just want to show everybody it's not, this is not affecting the stock one bit. So no movement and only 620,000 shares. So nothing. I just wanted to call that up on purpose just to show you guys if you're shareholders and you're wondering, but he has nothing to do with that from a long time ago, guys. I sold it to Yahoo, I believe, or somebody. Anyways, okay, Ford, see, this is the thing. There's always going to be dip buys, right? Like I bought it back here, $6, $7. That was great. And then I also bought it right here when it dipped right here on earnings. So dipped back down and you're able to get some. So would I buy Ford now to start a new position? Probably not. But if you get it back into 14, you can pick some up at that spot. So I just think every single stock has an opportunity to get picked up when it fades out. So that's just, if you're going to start a long-term spot, you might want to pick up some Disney that really hasn't gone yet. Apple still has more room to run, but yeah, no better time than the present to start investing.
You know what? There, and I wish I could find it, but there's been multiple like articles and videos, and people have talked about this before. Like, what if you only, as a strategy, bought on all-time highs, and it's not? It actually performs better, a lot better than you would think in the long run. And that's the simplest answer I can give you, because even Sean gave you a perfect answer there. It's never too late to start. It's never too early to start. ORPH, you know what? This is going to be the trade of the day. We'll talk a little bit about this, so stick around after the close or after we're done. Jump right into that trade of the day. It's still moving, and I want to bring it up here because the initial short, we left you guys. I said there was two levels I liked, right? I said $8, I'll short at that price. So I just ignored it until it got there. And I said, forget about anything until it gets to 930. So there's 8, there's 930. But it's now back at that dip. This is legit. Like, it pulled back and on a dime turned at 725. We're right back off of that 725 level. So if that goes on ORPH, that's a short for me, breaking through that level. I mean, it broke back to the upside when the disclosure was, as of last week, I think the 17th there, Goldman Sachs had like a 5.8% position in it still. Do they still have it now? I mean, I don't know. But that's what the news was. Spiked it back to the upside. That 25 goes. I'm going to be shorting it. I'll likely cancel that if I don't get a fill before the last 15 minutes of the day.
Okay, so I just want to share with you, Brendan, maybe find out about Fisker. I don't know, I haven't heard anything from you, on Fisker today, but I did want to share my watch list with all of you guys here to show you that, this is the stocks that I'm invested in, basically. There's a lot of them, but there's Fisker. You guys know XL Corp. That's actually a nice bump. I'm actually not in Snapchat, but there's Rocket, Roku, Twitter, TrueLeave, Under Armour's in there as well, Ford. I'm not invested in NIO, but Palantir, there's Chewy, Twilio, GM, Square is in here, Netflix, NVIDIA, you guys know that. We're loving some PaySafe, Disney, JP Morgan, Draft. I mean, these are all the names, and that's about it, honestly. And then down here we have more Walmart, Starbucks. There's my BarkBox, J&J. Some of these I'm not in. Gilead. I'm thinking too much about Handmaid's Tale. Not invested there as well. Beyond Meat, I'm in. Dollar Tree. This is Dollarama in Canada. You guys can do Dollar Tree. Turn, I'm in at like $1. That's a crazy computer play there on quantum computing. IBM, and then BlackBerry's at the bottom there. So just a couple names that I'm in. If you guys wanted to know my portfolio construction, basically that's what that is. So some of those are swing kind of plays, and some of them are long term, but you'll get the gist if you know which ones are there. Oh yeah, by the way, Cardano, Brendan.
It's been pretty much a day-long move for Fisker. This was really the only terribly exciting thing that came out this morning. They're joining the Russell 3000. So apparently 15 EV stocks being added to the Russell 3000, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge list of names that are getting that addition. Of course, the Russell still has yet to get those moves. And there's going to be some potential for some, I guess, continued squeezes. And we talked about that SEC rule that came through. It is done. I mean, Clover's made a decent move today, but you look at the short stocks, I guess the short squeeze stocks, and like Workhorse made a move, Clover did. Your AMC made a move off the open. This is what it's been doing all day long. Barcoding, I mean, ignore some of these wicks. It never got to 54, but it's just sitting in these clusters. Now it's trying to break that 60 a couple of times, and this is not the first time we've seen 60 break, fail, and then cannot get past, like this time it got past 60-60 at least, but the second time in the afternoon or just after lunchtime, 60-30 it got to and change. So not a heck of a lot of follow through, but it's also not dipping down either. So there was some suspicion that, hey, people were prepared for that new rule that came in from the SEC, and it might not lead to any chaos. I think things might calm down in terms of future squeezes. They might just be smaller in nature and maybe a little bit more frequent, but just smaller ones. Wish is now basing out here just below the VWAP, so I did take that one off there. We'll go with, I don't know, hit the money sign, pound that one. I didn't do it for Clover yet, but I want to see if we can get through this cluster, at least make another break up to like 75, 80. Context Logic has been pretty weak all morning long after that failed break to the upside. It's kind of, I wish that setup that I liked, I actually had, but that's nothing as bad as not getting Tesla this morning. If you watch the morning show, you know all about it.
Yeah, Tesla was a tough one this morning. Missed out on a couple of.
Oh my God, it's still going.
Yeah, there for sure. Okay, I just want to say, I guess so. Galantine, thank you so much. But Sterling Silver, another one of our members, obviously, or not a member, actually, Sterling, someone that's been watching the show for a very long time. Studies show that it does not matter if you lump sum in your costs over a 10-year period, but they both perform the same. So there you go. There's going to be lots of different things that you can look at, guys, for your longer-term investments. I just say it's all about the companies you buy, right? So it doesn't really, whether or not you buy Microsoft today at 266 or a couple days ago at 258. It's not, you know.
Unless you're like, look, if you're literally retired and living on the income, exactly, like as long as your time horizon is reasonably long.
Right.
I just joked about, like, I didn't know Tesla was breaking the high of the day when I just said that, but Tesla is breaking the high of the day right here, right now at 656.
All right. My wife just told me one of my son's friends is busy tonight, so cannot go to the park. Okay. All right. So Alf moving there. You know what? I want to look at Fisker because I own that stock, and obviously we've talked about it a little bit. We talked about buying this thing at 10. So when I say I'm not in any EV names, you know, I'm in Fisker. I mean, you guys already know that. That's been like that for a while. I'm surprised it actually flew under the radar for me today. Didn't even see this one. So Fisker right now, you know, again, it's not a heavy position, which is why, like, the amount of shares that I'm in on Ford and GM and Tesla, you know, dwarfs this. But we are trying to break out. This is the thing. We've been waiting for this for a while. I was able to sell some up here. We were able to reload back here, 10, 11 and change. And then now I believe this is probably a decent spot maybe to get your money out of Fisker if you don't believe in it. It doesn't mean I don't. It's just this is a big move. Again, we saw this big move off of volume. This is the 50 period. So off of the 50 period moving average, almost said volume weighted there. But, you know, that's a big move. So we've seen that same thing. Let's look back at Ford here quickly, right? You see a big move off that and then a pull back in, right? So I don't know what that percentage is, but it looks the same as Fisker. We could get a pull back in. But again, everything's going to be news dependent, right? Really nice to see Rocket taking off today as well. Someone asked the other day, based on this new SEC rule, things like that, is there a move in short squeezes? I mean, we can find out what the percentage is on Rocket. This has been a name that we've liked for a while. At least I have. And I don't like it for the squeeze issue. I just like it for this base. I think he got a nice base. This freaked me out. We didn't get out, but down to 17 was a problem. But right now, I like this base, like 18, 19, 20. I think this again was memes. But I think we can get back to 23, 24 on Rocket. So again, if this could be one of those plays, guys, that if you're looking for a longer term spot in your investments, Rocket is not a horrible name right now. It does have a lot of upside, and the downside, I have no, that was off earnings. UMWC was eating a little bit of their lunch there on some of that, the mortgage talk. But I like Rocket. I like what they're doing. It's formerly Quicken Loans, guys.
I would say I think it's still 17 or 18% on Rocket. But my interpretation of that rule is I really, really feel like, and the analogy that I'm going with is the flash crash and all of those rules resulted in no massive flash crash, but lots of little micro flash crashes. Anyone that traded after that knew that was the case. I think the same thing is happening here. So you look at like a Rocket, if you find good support levels on something with a high short interest, it's going to become like this viable strategy. I think people are going to probably latch on to something like that. All that said, I'm sure the hedge funds have figured that out too, and they'll do their best not to get embarrassed. But if you're going to check liquidity requirements like literally every single day, and then they got to respond hourly, that has to have some kind of effect on some of those heavily shorted names. Coming back to Viacom here, it never got really too much further past that out at 43.30, so no retest to the top. I like 43.50. I said that one, and I got it from the daily chart here. Just going back, bit of a double top if you go into late May and then early June. Never got to that price. I would have shorted off for this 43 fill, just based on it being close enough there. But if it does not make another push down, pretty soon, I'll go ahead and not say, I don't want that buy. I don't want that dip buy again unless we can actually make some movement here. This barcoding is not too interesting to me. Clover is getting to that what or get off the pot zone. Might have to just take it out in this range. If it can get back and bounce off this 1390 or so, get back into the 1410 range, we'll just take it out there and then wait for the next shoe to drop, whether it's buying the dip in the VWAP or this cluster it's at 70s, or waiting for it to test up to that 1450 level Clover. It's been a good one off the bottom, but it's starting to slow down a little bit here. The overall market, positive green here, but doing a lot of barcoding all afternoon.
Okay, so we'll go some AMC right now. We're back into this name. We still have the same position we've had, all day, literally all day. We took this right off the open when we saw some momentum, and then for some reason I didn't take it out when it was $1 and change in the money. Actually, more than that. We're long 59.27. It went up to 61.10 or so. Whatever the high is today, 61.11. There you go. So it went up there. Now, Meg, I'm in the middle of speaking. Up to 58.50 now. We'll wait to see where this goes, but I'm going to play it off to 57 bottom. We're just going to wait to see if we get a late run. I'm just playing around, Maggie. What's up, Brendo?
Just saw Moxie pop back up here. We broke back through 21, guys, on volume to the downside. So coming off a little bit. Another one having a big day again, 24% still. Well off the highs, guys, for Moxian.
Ooh, I remember you, Mox. 25%. Good move for them. There you go. Filling back in now. This pullback, this is the movement you're looking for because we've already made like a run at 22.50 a couple of times, pulling right back into like 19.70. Call it like 20 bucks. This is another dip in that range. This was actually a low volume bounce or snapback. If it does the same thing here, you're looking for something off of that 20 level, but you can't let it break like in 19.70. But at least it's moving. At least the volume's churning through on Moxie. I mean, as much as Clover's in the money and Wish was trying to go, this could give you a nice little snapback trade. We got about 15 minutes till the bounces come out. I'm not too concerned about the Clover and Wish. I mean, you might see a little bit of something on some of these other names here. I don't know, AMC maybe not. But Moxie is probably zero concern whatsoever in terms of the timing of it. I just want to make sure the volume is continuing through. If it dips any further, I want to long if it can bounce off that 20 level, see if I can't get a quick 50 cent to $1 scalp bouncing off the little pullback we got on Viacom. Let's see if we can catch it on Moxie.
I can't remember the last time I held something pretty much all day. So for me, that's going to classify as diamond hands on AMC. So right now, we're back in. Good little long. We just took it. So if you guys took that with us, 58.47 there. Now we go to the upside. So a nice little 67, 20 cents or so in the money on that play right now. So we'll wait to see where it goes from here. I mean, this ALF, this was a great short, so let's wait to see where it goes from here. I'm still going to target this area. I got to put a bid now, 1160, maybe even here, 1175, something like that. Let's see if we can't take off a little bit here on ALF. Oh, but not a little bit. It'll be the whole thing on ALF if we get back down to 1170. I mean, maybe even a little bit more than that. We could try 12. I think it breaks 12 and then we spike down. So yeah, let's go here like 1182, something like that. See if we can't take a smooth dollar off that halt trade there. I should have gone in more, but I mean, again, without knowing too much about the stock and having traded it too much before, we will, hit it today. We did talk about it on the sticky note, not to go long on ALF. You would have been rewarded. It would have been fine there, but now it's pulling back in. So I'm going to stick a bid like, let's put 1190. We'll put a bid there at 1190. See if it comes down and hits us. Remember before we stocked out at 1155 and we had to take 1160. So we'll see where we wind up putting this order. But for right now, I'm excited for ALF and 1190 guys on ALF.
And yeah, I mean, Virgin Galactic is making some good moves there. I just got into that a Moxie, so if it breaks, remember 1970 is going to be that out for me. I do want to come back over. This was actually mentioned by a couple of people in the chat. At least I thought this APPH, interesting name here, guys. Thank you, Carlos Gomez, for the super chat there. It's a relatively low volume name. When I called it up there, and I think it was Sam. Apologies if it was not Sam. Maybe it was Big Moo in the chat there that mentioned this name. But it does have an interesting little formation of a break coming out here. And there was a nice looking 17 area on the daily chart. So I'm going to file this one away. Like if it gets above 17, this could be a look for tomorrow where you have some momentum into that 20 range. As long as it sits in this cluster, and you might get a bit of a breakout. But it's got to close above 17, or at least give me a shot to open above 17. It's on my list to watch. Thank you guys. That's what I love about the community, man. Like I would have never even looked at this chart if it wasn't for you guys when I came back on in the afternoon. Brendan.
A little one in the courier space going here into the close, guys. Best Incorporated, which is Best in New York. Big volume just coming into this as we had 2 day highs going into the close. They updated their full year guidance today for Best, guys.
All right. Valera just letting me know there that I guess that was from Sterling, right? Yeah. No. I thought Sterling was a member, but apparently something happened with one of his cards and he had to reset it. So yeah, you're a member in our heart no matter what, Sterling. So yeah, don't worry. I didn't mean to call you out. I was just like, oh, member Daryl Flinch, and then you weren't green, so that's why I said that. But yeah, no, Sterling's been a member forever. So when we didn't see that, that's what got me off guard there a little bit. So yeah, no, I mean, no ill will felt for anybody that is a member or not a member. The benefit of being a member is just to show your support for the channel, and then which Sterling you have, that's for sure. And then also, guys, we do the Q&A, which we just had on Monday with Mark Roberts, and then the next one's with Arun. So that comes every 2 weeks. We do a Q&A. So thank you for supporting us, and you get some fun, cool emojis as well. So my bad on that one, Mr. Silver, and all good on our end for sure. But okay, let's just keep on going, guys. AMC now, again, up to 60, 67. I'm wondering if I just take a piece out here at 59-ish. Our average price is 58.90, so, or 58.87. Oh man, like I wish this could get going. We'll wait for the imbalances, which are coming out very, very soon. So hopefully that'll be the key to this. We'll be able to see if AMC does have a buy imbalance. And if it does have a buy imbalance, then we'll look to see like 60. I mean, I got to get out if we top out of here again. I should have got out the first time. I was actually sitting here because it was noon. So actually, no, we had a meet. It was about here, 59.70. And I looked at that 60. I think that's a decent top. So if we could take $1 on what's left, we should do that, guys, with our AMC.
And here comes Clove, of course. I mean, I don't get it out at that 14.10. It's pulling right back into VWAP here. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of a bounce. There's still time. We still got 20 minutes to go here, so I do want to take that shot if it can make that little bit of a bounce. I got the next leg of Moxie. It goes really close to that 19.70 level. See I'm long just above that $20 range. Risk about 50 pennies on that one. Thinking it can get back and snap back into that 20.75 area. So I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth if we see that 14 area on Clover. We'll just go ahead and lock it in. See if we can't get it. There's actually a bit of an offer. Well, as I say it, there's actually a bit of an offer sitting there at 14.01. I mean, I looked over, saw in level 2, and saw just as quickly muscle memory. I'm like, I hit offer enter and I get taken out at 99. So we'll take it. 13.13 in at 19, out at 13.99. I still think there's a chance Clover gives you a deeper pullback that maybe we can take another bounce trade off of. But for now, we'll take that win. But we show you the winners, we show you the losers. I like you, Moxie. I like that setup. You're going to play that repeat pattern. It bounces one time. It tries to bounce again off that 1970. Once it breaks down, I'm out of that one. No reverse short. That's what I like on ORF. If ORF still has a chance to break down at that 725 level, about 15 pennies away, that's the short that I want. That's the short I'm going to wait for. Wish, still in the money a couple of pennies, but we scalped that. It can't break VWAP, so might not be able to get my wish coming true on Context Logic.
Yeah, Tesla.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just reading people talking about Tesla there. Yeah, Neil talked about that early, guys. We're not in Tesla right now. Okay, so what about Snapchat? Snapchat on a nice little run. You saw it there on my board as well. Snapchat, snap.ny. So yeah, it's not down 24%. It's up 5.5%. What a great move down. This is what I mean. Like, this is why I use the 50-period moving average. Like, that was a good move down the other day to 59. Now you're back up to 66. Snapchat looking to take out its all-time high here. Remember, the NASDAQ is at all-time highs as well. So there is that happening. But Snapchat, yeah, good dips down here, 50, 52. Those would have been fantastic buys. And right now, just looking at this, I would love there to be an opportunity here for me. I just don't really see one in Snapchat unless we break back down below 66. What time is it? 3:42. So not much happening on that side of things as far as that is concerned. Let's open up the imbalance locator for Toronto. Have a quick look. Kinross, nothing. Alien Couche-Tard there, Rogers, so a bunch of nothings here. We want to see M's, not K's, guys. So we will ignore the Toronto imbalance and then wait for New York NASDAQ, which is coming out. What time is it? In 7 minutes.
Going to show Wish. We just got out of that one flat, but I want to show you guys now in no positions. So we'll try to look. I mean, the one I'm going to want is going to be likely Clover if we can get back into that one. But I just want to show Tesla this nice little move that it's making. We like 635 for the break. I can tell you exactly the keystroke I made. The 2 and the 5 are pretty close. I crossed up for the breakout at 21 cents instead of 51 cents. So obviously the spread on Tesla, I mean, at any given time, currently when things aren't really happening, you get like a 5 or 6 cent spread. But when a level is breaking like that at 9:30 in the morning, like right at the open, good luck crossing up like 10, 15 cents unless your stop order is the greatest. But you're going to get that big move to the upside. You miss it, you miss it. It is what it is. But I just wanted to show on that daily chart, guys, that Tesla is finally making this nice move. Double bottom on that pullback, that 540 level. We can forget all about that. We're marching towards that 666. You guys know that's been a thing for a while now on Tesla, so I think that's probably the next thing we can chew through. From there, it's off to that 700 level. So those are the levels I'm looking at tomorrow. On a pullback, I can tell you without looking, it's going to be 35 to 40. And as long as we're within earshot of that, any dip, now that's the first place I would buy on Tesla. Speaking of Clover, not a daily chart, because we're looking at it right here. I don't think either of these spikes happened. It's still in that same range. You can forget about, I'm not going to take the breakout on this one. I'm only really looking for that dip. And the only reason I don't like the breakout here at 1420 is you already had a lower high at 40 and then a fail at 1450. So you put those two things together, and I don't like the odds of any kind of a breakout with 15 minutes left. It would have been a snap dip buy. And even now, we're running out of time for that kind of a move to take place. You think you're still in Alfie, right, Sean?
Yeah, I'm still in alpha. I was just going to talk about that. I'm actually just waiting right now.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, 4 alpha to come down to about this level. My bid, 1190. So 1191. I said 90 to fool everybody, right? So we're going to go 1191 and see where we go with that one. But Alf, yeah, coming out down. I think it's Alphi. That makes sense to me, but Alfie's cool too. Either way, we're going to wait right here, 1190, which is that dip spot that we had. So we'll wait to see if that's going to be triggered or not. But that's my bid right now. So we're short 1295 right here off the halt. And then we took some out at 1242. And then we will wait for that bottom tick right now. So I think I'm getting maybe a little bit greedy with that, but whatever. And then Clover. Also, guys, maybe a mistake. We took some out at VWAP there. I know Neil has it down here, but right now Barcode Central. So we only have 15 minutes before we have to decide about this. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to go. I'm just hoping for that last minute, like bang to the upside on Clover. We have an order right here in the 30s.
I say Alfie, even like it might be Alphi, but Alfie, man, it's a classic movie. They made it twice. That's how good it was. The Michael Caine version is better, in my humble opinion, but. Anyways, I'm an old head when it comes to movies. Alf, though, what I was going to say is on Orf the other day before the announcement actually it was bad news, of course. They didn't get the approval on the drug. But before that happened, we talked about the weakness. There was no bid, and it would evaporate. And sort of what I'm noticing on the way down, and Alf is essentially the same thing. Like, as it gravitates down, you are seeing like the spread like open up a little bit here. Like there'll be bids that'll stack a little bit, but when they get taken out, it's like, okay, drop. And then it'll tighten up, like the offer tightens it up, and then the spread opens up to the downside. It just sort of feels like there isn't a heck of a lot of strength in Alpha is what I was getting at there. And it's right at this precipice here. It's running out of time, but if it breaks at 1190, I mean, Sean has mentioned he has a bid in front of it. We don't know exactly where, or maybe he did say, but the bid is sort of falling apart. Now the 12 looks like a bit of support if that goes. Ooh, Alf. I mean, the share offering, smart move by them for only $2 million to mess around with the shorts a little bit, but short-lived. It's already back to exactly where it was when that announcement was made, and I think that's why support here is pretty important. Yeah,
it didn't fool me, Alf. But we'll wait to see where it goes. If it breaks down through 12, I should be able to get that 90. Oh, Maggie. What's up, Brendo?
She waits.
Timing is good today. Viacom, guys, 3% now. We've come pretty much halfway back at this point. 42 trying to hold, though, for Viacom now up 3%. Remember, Roku talking to Viacom, possibly about a deal. Not Comcast, guys. So Comcast... basically the mirror opposite of this.
Okay, so that makes sense. Thank you so much, Fareed, for the $20. Thank you. You are amazing. We do this for fun. You can tell we're having a lot of fun here, but we're also pretty serious in our trades. So, thank you so much. I have, 200-300 fills today, so there's been a lot of trading. What was Alf? Animal, vegetable, or person, Sterling? I believe alien, I think Alf was, right?
Yeah,
but I guess maybe... Animal Man? But okay, let's just keep on going. Palantir keeps going up. Yeah, Clover. We still got love for Clover, and we're going to get some Alf out of here very, very soon. So again, guys, thank you so much. ETC and BTC taking a dookie. Okay, I wish I didn't read that on air, but yeah, right now Ethereum is coming back down to that 1900 level, guys.
What, you can say dookie? Like dookie?
Yeah, I guess we could, yeah.
Dookie is exactly what you can say. It's the other thing that you're not supposed to say. I prefer to say like a stock is... like right now, Wish might be defecating on itself. That's not really defecating. You need like a more of extreme move to be defecating to the downside. But like I said, I stopped out at break even. This is a situation where if this was a little bit earlier on in the session, I'd probably be looking at this other higher low at 1325 and then be looking for that dip buy. Like if this had happened a little bit earlier on, like what happened here, you made that flush out bottom, holds 13 even or above that, and you get that nice little dip in, you probably take this little cluster here. And again, it has to be something that you have a reason for going into the long, and because we like some of those levels from yesterday on the pullback, that's why you get into it. With 10 minutes to go, that's not a sword that you want to step in front of necessarily. So I'd walk away from that idea, but the setup is still sound.
man.
It's just with 10 minutes to go, you're not going to take it. Yeah, alien life form, man. Like I was telling you,
Yeah,
Alf,
that was
alien
pretty
life
obvious.
form.
No, I'm not laughing at that, man. I'm laughing. I was just reading some of these things here. And then this one, man, the gamer stream got me going here. The fart pile. I don't even know what that's about.
Nice.
But, oh, man, that is too much, man. That's hilarious. Fart pile. I don't know. Okay, let's just move on. That's great. I don't know why I read that or why that's even there, but that's a good one. Okay, so yeah, let's focus. Let's check out XL Fleet because that's a name that I've had in the portfolio for a while. We did buy that thing initially. So many markets. Oh, it's a New York stock? Okay, that's good. XL Fleet, there's been so many opportunities in that space. We've seen Plug make moves here. We've seen a lot of different things happen. So XL, we first bought this on the Ford news, which was right here. We bought it in the pre-market. It went up to $10, $11. We bought it at $8.50. We tweeted that out. That was a big buy for us. We even talked about putting it into our portfolio. It ripped up to 11, but we couldn't get out before the show ended. And then by noon, it was all the way back down. And then you started to just basically fart pile all the way downside there, where we were able to buy more downside. So now my average price, I believe, is like $7.70 or something. Oh yeah, the imbalances are out. Thank you so much, Ken H. I see you there, so thank you for reminding me there. Okay, here's the imbalances. WFC to the sell side. So we'll just call it up here so you guys can watch us as we trade it. WFC sell side pressure. Oh man, there's a wick there. We can't do that one. Cisco on the sell side as well. So something there for any Cisco fans. You could see it starting to move to the downside.
Oxy made a bit of a move.
Yeah, I don't really see anything else. Oxy, I don't know. That's about it for me.
Yeah, I mean, Oxy made a slight move. The problem is, look at that barcode. Like, it's already made that bounce. I think if I were looking at that Oxy 1.8 million share imbalance and wanted to play off it, I'd want it to hold this 31 area and then look for like 355, and then it gets paired off, and then maybe you'd have a little bit of a long. So it pairs, you grab the long and off of this 31 even, and you scalp it back into VWAP. And that's one of those, there's plenty of liquidity on Oxy. That's all you can do with it, in my opinion. Brenda, what's up, bud?
Vertex Energy. Huh, okay. VTNR pushing into the close here. Just broke 8 and then some. Volume still coming in. Not seeing anything though, guys. VTNR.
All right. We have Cisco up still because you saw that sell-sided balance and it's starting to move to the downside right now, right? So 350 hits and then bang, we can focus in a little bit more. There goes Cisco to the downside. The imbalances have nothing to do with anything for you guys unless you are day traders, like you're getting in and out, because like this is just like if you get it when the news comes out, like when the imbalance comes out, you're like 86, 87. So it's only down to 78. It's not like it's a huge opportunity. You have to see like, 5, 6 million, because it's done 11 million shares today. So at 1 million, it's just 10%. It's not a huge closing in balance trade. So that's kind of what you look for is the ratio there. Okay. I don't know. Will Alf give us this call that we need? So we just need to break 12s, and then I think we get our price. So if it breaks through 12, you have some size on the level 2 right here. That's very, very significant. If we break that, then it's downside. I mean, it's not significant into 43 million, but it's just you don't see any 300s anywhere. So that's 34,000 shares. It's not a huge trade, but there's 34,000 shares just chilling out right there. So if it breaks it like it's going to do right now, then we will get our multiple. Okay, here we go. Come on. 2-4. You're going to see this happen right in front of our face. We're going to get filled down here. We're waiting in here somewhere just as a tip there. So we'll wait. If it comes back down through 12, here we go. Break it. So you're seeing these go off. See, look, there's all the reds, right? There's the break. Here we go. Did I get filled? No, I did not. How far did we go down there? I'm waiting at 91, guys. So let's see how far did it go down. It went down to 93s or 9. Yeah, there's a 93 print, so we only went to 93. So we didn't get that fill, but we'll wait to get it in a minute. I'm sure we will. $1 in the money on Alfie, guys. So we'll ring the register if we can get that 91.
See, saying Alfie. Forget about Alphi, man. It's Alfie. I saw there was a question on there about the symmetrical triangles. Is bullish or bearish? Depends on how it breaks, right? Like where the trend break happens determines. It's just a chart setup. I mean, I wish I could just immediately throw to one that I could see, but obviously Clover isn't doing one right now. But it's going to be which trend ends up breaking. It's just a chart formation for a setup. It doesn't necessarily give you the direction. Clover, look, it's 353, right? So, would I have been, had this happened like 5 minutes ago, I'm probably looking at that 1381, and you're like 10 cents in the money here, so more power to you if you put that one on. At some point, usually I'm going to say no moss to that type of an idea, but it looks like it would have worked out here on Clover. Going to be very, very patient tomorrow, bottom picking some of these names. I mean, Wish gave you opportunities off the bottom. Clover gave you them here. All you had to do is be very patient, and I'm just absolutely amazed at AMC today. Like, it's just an amaze in a weird way in that it is doing absolutely nothing this afternoon. I can't remember the last time that this happened, and I just feel like it's gearing up at this point. Like, it's just like a sleeping giant. I have zero executions on AMC because I just couldn't find my way to doing anything. It never came down to any levels I like. It couldn't get that breakout sustained through 60 even. So AMC, scalper's dream in the middle. But 100 million shares, you got to figure it's not going to look like this tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on AMC. It's just not moving. We're going to wait for that. I do have a stop order, so I have what we call there it goes. I'm going to get out. I was just going to say I have a conditional order to get out. So there it is. So we'll cancel that. There it is. That's a nice win for us. There we go, bearish on ALF today, guys. And so all I did there, just to let you know, I was just about to explain it, and then it happened. I put an order in, and on our platform, no, Maggie, on our platform, we can put in the ability to put a conditional order. So that's what I did. The minute 12 broke, I just wanted it to buy. So we got out there 12:02. Brendo, what up, bud?
5 minutes ago, guys. This is, there we go. It's been a long day. There's some earnings coming up after market tonight, guys. Let's have a look at what to expect and before the open tomorrow.
Carnival, Darden, good restaurant name there. Kebby Homes, we know about that. And I don't see anything else on there, Neil, do you?
What, huh? Maybe
Yeah,
not.
we're just playing around
Oh
with
yeah,
them.
Carnival.
Yeah,
That's right. That the day trading stock for all of you involved in the look. If you're trading the travel space in the last year, the chances are, if you're a day trader, that Carnival Cruise Lines has been your jam. So you know we're going to be watching it tomorrow. There's nothing over the top about this. We're basically flat on the session at the 50-period moving average. So I mean, you can kind of go in either direction. And I never want to be married to a direction with this stock because scalping is a good part of the equation when you're trying to make money on this bad boy. So it's going to be the same thing when we come back to Carnival. I will say this shout out to every single person today, and there's probably been a few of them who mentioned Workhorse should go to the upside. With that rule coming into effect today, Workhorse had that high short interest. It probably should have been the more obvious one today. I'm going to kick myself for not looking at it, but I want to shout out anybody who mentioned Workhorse because breakout. Look at this dip. Retracement from 1550 right into 1475 and again at 1475. Right, like little things like that aren't always that easy. When it eventually breaks this 1550 level, show me where you're out of the money on this. An even level like that, and it just gives you 1550 to 60 once, twice, and then, well, if it gets to 16 now, it'd be 3 separate times. That's as clean as it's going to get. I promise you it's not going to give you those tomorrow, but when you look for those simplistic patterns, high short interest, new SEC rule today, breakout off the open, clear direction, those are the kind of things you're looking for, and the volume is good as well. So I'll shout out everybody to Workhorse. I don't necessarily think it'll look this clean tomorrow because everyone can see how good it was today. There'll be more gamesmanship is my guess tomorrow.
So yeah, I just wanted to get out here, AMC. I mean, whether or not this rips up or not, I don't know. It's going to be a negative stock for me today, but it was such a light position that doesn't matter. But it is the only name that we're going to have on the board that's red. We did get out of Clover right there at 80. Again, right there at VWAP. Nothing to do with VWAP at all, to be honest with you. It's just that we are getting ready to close up shop right now at 4 o'clock. We have to be flat as day traders. That's part of the contract here with Day Trade the World, so we don't hold anything overnight. Otherwise, I probably would hold a little piece of almost everything that I'm trading. I would have some new ideas if we were swinging or able to anyways. Okay, just a quick little look here. This is tanking again, so look out below, man. I put out a note yesterday on those shorts, which I hope you guys can start watching, that I felt like I didn't buy anything down here. I just, I wonder if we're breaking down serious. Like, I don't know where the bottom's going to be on Ether, but we'll probably start buying at 15, and then at Bitcoin, I like that 25, 26 level. So I think there's some potential there. But right now, we are breaking downside a little bit here on Ethereum. So, again, I've been in this game since 2017. So the prices, I have are irrelevant at this point. But it only matters if you take profit out, right? So right now, 1900. If you're getting a little nervous, you may want to pair some out. I paired some out on the weekend, last weekend, but only 10% of the portfolio. So, this is still making moves to the downside. But there goes crypto a little bit. Bitcoin's still holding up pretty good as well as we get ready to close here. Bitcoin 33, so it got as high as 35 today. So still a good little level for BTC.
Exactly. Oh, only 1 minute to
Yeah.
go, guys. We are running. That was fast. You always say it's the fastest 45 minutes. This one is absolutely true. And because I'm talking, there's not going to be a throw to Brendan left. I'm sure if you open your mouth, Sean, one more time, Maggie would find a way for us to go to Brendan. Someone quickly asked about GSAT. All I will say, it was pretty bearish when you get that hard fail off at $2. The only good sign I can tell you is look at this level here, 165. That's the top from Monday. That is the pullback from this 22nd here on Tuesday, and it manages to hold that level. You can hold that tomorrow, then you got some hope for that name. But that is a harsh failure at $2. We talked about that one in the morning. That's the kind of thing that can turn the stock around and turn into resistance, heavy resistance below it at 190. So that's what I think about GSAT. If you're holding out that long, at least you have a stop level around that 160 to 165. We didn't need, well, actually, we're basically right at flat on the NASDAQ, but the ES turned red. So halfway there, most of us care about the NASDAQ more anyways. So we'll drop that countdown. Ms. V is on the bell as always. So 5, 4, 3, 2, ring it.
Thank you, Miss V, wearing the green. And as far as I'm concerned, I only look at the NASDAQ, so you win, Miss V. It is up 0.6 or 0.4 when she rang the bell. There was 0.6, now 0.4. So thank you for the red today. And we're hella green as well for our day. So I hope you guys are. Brendan, how did the ES and how did the other markets finish up?
You see 0.6 on the NASDAQ?
Well, that's what our chart is saying.
Or 0.06.
0.06.
0.06.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is close, I guess. This is the index overall anyways. Yeah, we had some pretty heavy selling come in there on the S&P right at the end of the day. We went red and then some, 0.1, basically flat. For everything else, red here in Toronto. Yeah, Ethereum, 0.5% downside, but Bitcoin did, as we saw in the charts there, hold on to a slight gain, guys. So pretty muted, flat day, once again, right across the board.
It is. Make sure you stick around. We'll talk. I mean, that's like someone in the chat just mentioning Orf. Orf is going to be the trade of the day, so stick around. We can talk about that move, and we certainly do, and you can learn a little bit from that. Carnival is the big one as far as earnings go, but what an unbelievable day it's been. All this activity, Sean, and then AMC did absolutely nothing on the session. There was money to be made, thankfully, but it was a bit of a surprise after that SEC rule. AMC did no movement.
You know, when I look over, I go say, what's up? Thank you to my kid for here. World's best dad, Father's Day gift 2020. I want to say yesterday, I was actually going to give a shout out to the Blue Jays yesterday because I went on and live bet them plus 200 when they were down 1-0 and they won. Finally, the bullpen held out there and we won 2-1 yesterday. Congratulations to everybody who's a Montreal Canadian fan as they're getting close to winning their round. Moving on, I don't know if it's a conference final anymore, but they're going to go to the Stanley Cup. So with all the different divisions, I don't know. But thank you guys for joining us. What a great opportunity in an afternoon with Maggie and Lucas. Thank you so much, guys, for running the board again today. It's been absolutely fantastic. Miss V, thank you so much for the green. Thank you to everybody helping out. Thanks for Greg for shouting out this morning some opportunities. Thank you to Neil, Brendan, and myself. We are the Trader TV Live team with Miss V, of course. So we will catch you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned for the trade of the day, guys. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
See you guys.
Bye.